When your body's healthy, you have a lot of problems. However, if your body's not healthy, you have one problem. So, let me ask you something. What if I told you that your daily cup of coffee could be the secret to preventing muscle atrophy, which is quietly eroding your strength every day? This is a frightening fact. After age 50, we lose 1 to 2% of our muscular mass per year. This means that by the age of 70, you may have lost up to 40% of your muscle mass. Getting out of bed in the morning will quickly become more difficult than it was previously. Walking up the stairs exhausts you, and standing up too quickly causes your legs to shake. Here's the awful reality. It just gets worse from here. Much worse. What is difficult today becomes impossible tomorrow. From finding it difficult to walk to experiencing serious falls. Once you start falling, everything changes quickly. You progress from doing everything oneself to needing assistance with everything, getting dressed, showering, and even going to the restroom. And you'll probably wind up in a nursing home quickly. But in the next few minutes, I'll show you 5 simple things you can add to your morning coffee to help you build stronger muscles, maintain your balance, and live independently in your own home for years to come. But here's the deal. Number 5 on this list will surprise you. Most people ignore it every day. However, adding just 1 teaspoon to your coffee has the potential to reverse muscle loss faster than anything else I'll show you. So make sure to stay until the finish, since number 5 could alter everything for you. And I guarantee that by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to regain 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and feel strong and stable on your feet again, just as you did 20 years ago. I am making you this assurance because, as a doctor who has treated hundreds of seniors suffering from muscle loss and weakness, I have seen what works and what does not. Over 85% of my patients reported significant strength gains after adding these 5 easy ingredients to their morning coffee, which we'll discuss in a minute. Before we begin, where are you watching from, and how old are you? What muscle loss issues do you have? Please let me know in the comments. I will reply to each one. Finally, I've compiled 95 simple, quick and effective muscle building and muscle loss recovery recipes. But before we begin, I'd like to learn something from you. Where are you watching this video? And what time is it now? Please share in the comments. I read each message and it makes me feel closer to you. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and turn on the bell symbol. That way you'll never miss another health advice designed specifically for seniors like you. Number 1. Almond milk. The first thing you should add to your morning coffee is almond milk. And here's why this is especially crucial as you get older. Your muscles require more magnesium and calcium than ever before. Here's what is currently happening in your body. Your biceps require calcium to contract. That is the upward movement as you raise your arms. Magnesium, on the other hand, promotes muscular relaxation. That's when your arms will drop back down. So when you walk, climb stairs, or get out of a chair, your muscles work hard and consume a lot of calcium and magnesium. That is why if you are 60 or older, you must consume adequate amounts of these 2 minerals on a daily basis. You're probably asking how I can obtain these first things in the morning with my coffee without spending money on pills that could harm my liver and kidneys. This is where almond milk comes in. Just 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk has around 450 milligrams of calcium. That is nearly half of what you need for the entire day. You also get 15 milligrams of magnesium, which helps your muscles relax appropriately. Almond milk is particularly ideal for seniors who have sensitive stomachs, are lactose intolerant, or just cannot tolerate ordinary milk anymore. Your tummy will thank you, and that isn't even the finest part. Almond milk benefits your muscles in 3 more ways. It contains vitamin E, which protects muscle cells from injury. It contains good fats, which help your body absorb other nutrients more effectively. It is also naturally low in sugar, which means it will not raise your blood pressure. According to research, calcium is essential for muscular function and promotes healthy muscle contraction and relaxation. Recent studies also show that magnesium status has a strong impact on muscle performance in older adults due to magnesium's key role in muscle contraction and relaxation, and that magnesium intake was significantly associated with sarcopenia, while magnesium supplementation improved performance in older adults. Number 2, cinnamon powder. Muscle gives you the best chance of resisting aging. Muscle is actual medicine. The more muscle you have on your body, whether you're 50, 60, 70, or 80, the more calories you burn, even when sitting in your chair, the better your chances of enjoying a long and healthy life. This is a reality, supported by science. Nothing compares to having powerful muscles, especially as you age. Muscles are where you get rid of glucose. So glucose management is one of your body's most vital jobs. Your life and independence depend on it. If your muscles are unable to effectively dispose of glucose, you will develop type 2 diabetes, which may necessitate amputation since your wounds will not heal. That is why it is critical to manage your blood sugar. The easiest method to do this is to have muscles large enough to accept glucose. This is where cinnamon powder in your morning coffee comes in. Cinnamon powder is the most extensively investigated spice to add to your daily coffee to help manage blood sugar and glucose. Some recent research have even found that it enhances insulin sensitivity and helps to reduce glucose surges. Here's the science behind it. Cinnamon includes cinnamaldehyde. Consider it small helpers that increase your muscle cells' willingness to receive glucose. It's as if cinnamon opens up the entrances to your muscle cells, allowing glucose to enter more easily rather than floating around in your circulation and causing harm. And that isn't even the finest part. Cinnamon also promotes muscular growth in seniors by delaying the rate at which food exits your stomach, allowing your muscles to absorb glucose gradually and avoiding blood sugar spikes. It improves blood flow to your muscles and lowers inflammation. Furthermore, cinnamon improves the way your digestive system breaks down protein, allowing your body to make greater use of it. Start taking half a teaspoon with your coffee every morning to see effects quickly. Number 3, ginger. Strong muscles are important since weakness and fragility can literally kill you as you age. The numbers are frightening. If you fall and shatter your hip or leg bone after the age of 65, you have a 15% to 30% probability of dying within the next year. That is ridiculous. Even if you escape the fall, half of the individuals will never regain their vigor. They become weaker than before for the remainder of their lives. Once you reach your 70s, muscle loss becomes your number one enemy. To maintain your muscles healthy, you should consume approximately 30 grams of protein at breakfast and 30 to 50 grams at dinner. But here's something nobody tells you. It doesn't matter how much protein you eat if your body can't digest it properly. Most seniors ingest protein, but their muscles never absorb it because their digestion is too slow. That is why you should use ginger in your morning coffee. Before eating breakfast, add 1 teaspoon of ginger powder to your coffee. Here's what ginger does. It contains gingerol, which speeds up the digestion process. Food goes through your system faster rather than just sitting there. According to studies, ginger helps speed up your digestion. It helps your body produce the necessary enzymes to break down meals and keeps you from feeling bloated. So when you eat protein for breakfast, lunch, and supper, your body quickly breaks it down and transports it to your muscles, where it belongs. That is how you gain muscle all day long. But that is not all. Ginger does 3 more vital things for seniors that most people are unaware of. First, it reduces inflammation in your joints. You know how tight your legs and hands feel in the morning? Ginger helps to settle it down, allowing you to move more easily throughout the day. Second, ginger relieves nausea and stomach distress. As you age, your stomach becomes more sensitive to food and medications. Ginger naturally soothes your stomach, leaving you feeling better after you eat. Third, ginger increases circulation. It helps to improve blood flow to your hands and feet. That's why adding ginger to your coffee may make your fingers and toes feel warmer. So you're not only strengthening your muscles' ability to absorb protein, but you're also reducing joint pain, settling your stomach, and enhancing blood flow. Just 1 teaspoon of ginger powder in your daily coffee has numerous benefits. Let me tell you about Margaret Thompson, a 72-year-old retired school teacher who visited me around 2 years ago. Margaret had been dealing with her digestion for months. She would eat her breakfast, which was generally scrambled eggs and bread, and then feel bloated and uncomfortable for hours. Her stomach hurt, she felt gassy, and by lunchtime she still didn't want to eat. What is the worst part? Margaret was losing weight, but not in a good way. She was losing muscle because her body was not breaking down the protein she was consuming. She dropped from 135 pounds to 118 pounds in just 6 months. Margaret was becoming very frail, and her daughter was concerned about her health. Margaret informed me, "Doctor, I eat my eggs every morning as you recommended, but I feel terrible afterwards. My stomach can't take it anymore. I'm beginning to believe I should skip breakfast." That's when I told her about including ginger into her morning coffee. Just 1 teaspoon of ginger powder was mixed into her coffee before breakfast. Margaret called me within 2 weeks. She stated, "I can't believe it. I ate eggs and toast this morning, and for the first time in months, my stomach feels good." There was no bloating, soreness, or other symptoms. 3 months later, Margaret had regained 12 pounds of normal weight. Her strength was returning. She resumed walking her dog and began volunteering at the library, all because her body could finally utilize the protein she was consuming. Number 4, MCT oil. How healthy you are as you age will be determined by your muscle mass, regardless of how much fat you have. Now I'm talking about when you reach your 60s and 70s. It is no longer about being able to go down 200 steps. As you become older, the most important thing is to stay up with basic resistance exercise. I'm not discussing heavy lifting here. I'm referring about activities like wall sits or getting up and down from a chair. The amount of muscle you have greatly influences how healthy you will be. The science behind this is incredible. It's very important to your health. No matter how much you weigh, muscle mass is the most significant factor in healthy aging as you reach 60, 70, and beyond. So, you'll need MCT oil to offer your muscles rapid energy during activity and to aid in recovery after a simple resistance training workout. Let me explain how MCT oil accomplishes this, what it is, what the study suggests, and how much you should consume. MCT oil is created with specific fats derived from coconut or palm oil. MCT stands for medium-chain triglycerides. Here's what differentiates them. They skip the majority of the typical digestive process. Instead, they travel directly to your liver, where they are converted into something called ketones. These ketones provide quick fuel for your brain and muscles. MCT oil provides immediate energy, since these fats are rapidly metabolized in your liver. This rapid process produces fuel that your muscles can use immediately during activity and while recovering. Unlike conventional fats, which are stored, MCTs are used for energy practically instantly. The research backing this up is quite impressive. One study with older folks discovered that ingesting just 6 grams of MCTs daily for a month and a half enhanced muscular mass, muscle function, and even brain function in senior people who were becoming feeble. Another study found that the best gains for muscle strength occurred after using MCT oil for just 3 months straight, and you didn't need any additional supplements to reap these benefits. Start with a tiny dose. MCT oil is rich in fat and calories, so start with only 1 teaspoon and gradually increase to 1 or 2 teaspoons. Researchers believe the acceptable top range is 4 to 7 tablespoons per day. However, if you're taking it for exercise, don't exceed 30 grams because more than that may upset your stomach during or immediately following your workout. But this isn't the most shocking part. MCT oil also has various other benefits that help seniors stay healthy and maintain their muscles. They assist to minimize exercise-induced inflammation, allowing you to recuperate more quickly between exercises. Regular MCT use also trains your body to switch between multiple fuel sources more efficiently, which aids in muscle upkeep. MCTs also help you feel full, allowing you to consume more and provide the nutrition your muscles require. Before I divulge the fifth ingredient to add to your coffee, I need to ask you a question. What are your thoughts so far? Are you starting to grasp what you should put in your morning coffee to promote muscle growth? Leave a comment and let me know. I sincerely want to know what you think. And if this knowledge helps you comprehend how to build muscle beyond 60, please subscribe. I spend hours researching and preparing these films to educate seniors like you, and your subscription indicates that you value this knowledge. It just takes a second, but it means everything to me and allows me to reach more individuals who desperately need this information. Finally, I've compiled 95 simple, quick, and effective muscle development and muscle loss recovery recipes. To get it, follow the link in the pinned remark. Let's proceed. Number 5, cayenne pepper. There is an inverse association between thigh muscle mass and life expectancy. How insane is that? The stronger your thighs and quads are, the longer you will live. So, there are 3 reasons why this matters. First, when your legs weaken, so do your balance and movement. You just cease going out and spending time with your pals as often. So, there is a social life. You don't receive enough vitamin D from the sun, your moods are constantly low, and you develop depression. Secondly, your bone density decreases. If you didn't know, your bones supply minerals to your brain tissues, and your thighs have the largest bone in your body. Finally, the third leading cause of death among older persons is falling. So, if you keep your leg muscles up, you won't fall as much. Leg muscles assist you maintain your balance. That is why cayenne pepper should be added to your morning coffee to stimulate blood flow to your thigh and leg muscles. Here's the science behind it. Cayenne pepper contains a substance called capsaicin, and this is what gives peppers their heat. Capsaicin can help your arteries operate better and relax the muscles in your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow more smoothly. According to research, ingesting cayenne pepper enhances circulation, strengthens blood vessels, and decreases plaque development in the arteries. When you put cayenne in your morning coffee, the capsaicin triggers something called TRPV1 receptors. These receptors serve to open your blood arteries and increase blood flow to your muscles, especially the essential thigh muscles. Capsaicin also reduces platelet stickiness, allowing your blood to flow more smoothly. You should use caution when it comes to dosing. Most people can safely consume 2 to 8 milliliters of capsaicin daily. That's roughly a modest amount of cayenne pepper in your coffee, about an 1/8 teaspoon to begin. A sprinkling of cayenne pepper in a meal is usually around 0.1 milligrams, so you don't need much. Start small and work your way up because this stuff may get heated. But cayenne pepper does more than just increase blood flow. Cayenne pepper contains capsaicin, which may lower high blood pressure by relaxing blood vessels. It may also aid in pain alleviation, which is vital for seniors struggling with joint problems. Some studies suggest it may even aid with metabolism and weight management. This makes cayenne pepper the 5th ingredient in your morning coffee for senior health. The increased blood flow to your leg muscles in the morning prepares them for the day's activities and maintains muscle strength, which actually keeps you alive longer. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret was 68 years old, worked part-time at a local library, and visited me around 3 years ago. She was one of those folks who simply enjoyed being active. She used to spend hours gardening, going for long walks with her book club pals, and even practicing gentle yoga at the community center. But when she entered my office that first day, she appeared fatigued. She informed me, "I can barely make it up the stairs to the 2nd floor at work anymore. My legs feel like concrete and I'm always fatigued." Margaret had been struggling for some months. Her doctor had performed all of the standard tests. Her blood work was normal and her heart was healthy, but she couldn't shake the constant fatigue and muscle weakness. What is the worst part? She had started to avoid her pals. I used to meet the girls for our evening walks, she explained, but now I feel humiliated since I have to stop and rest every few blocks. So I'm simply making excuses and staying home. You could tell it was breaking her heart. Then things worsened. Margaret contacted me from the hospital around 2 months after we first met. She had collapsed in her own kitchen while preparing dinner. Fortunately, nothing was broken, but she was shaken up. I just felt dizzy when I stood up from the table, she explained. My legs went up entirely. That is when I suggested she try incorporating cayenne pepper into her everyday routine. I urged her to start small, with a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper in her morning tea. Margaret called me within 2 weeks, excited for the first time in months. I got through an entire day at the library without feeling absolutely exhausted, she remarked, and I even felt like making supper last night. By the end of the first month, she had returned to her nighttime walks. She was out there with her buddies again, though not for as long as she had been before. 6 months later, Margaret had changed completely. She had gradually increased her intake of fresh ginger to half a teaspoon every day, and the results were astounding. I'm back in my garden, she said during our follow-up. Last weekend, I planted 2 entire flower beds. My legs feel strong again, and the dizziness when I get up is gone. It all started with a tiny tweak. Look, I realize some folks will watch this and then go back to their old ways. They'll remain with coffee, sugar, dairy milk, and caffeine since changing seems too difficult. But you're not one of those individuals, are you? You're the type who will take this information and do something with it. You're going to stay with these muscle-supporting ingredients you can add to your daily coffee and do it consistently. I want you to come back and tell us how your muscle loss is improving and how much stronger you are becoming. Because in my next video, I will reveal the one thing you need. Begin adding to your drinking water right away if you do not want to continue wasting your muscles. And if this video has shown you how to appreciate the advantages of coffee and given you a clear action plan for regaining power, the least you can do is hit the subscribe button. I just gave you information that might actually change your life and make you feel like you're 40 again. If this video impacted your heart in any way, please let me know by liking it, sharing it with someone you care about, or leaving a comment. Most doctors will not give you this information, yet it might save you thousands of dollars in medical expenditures. Subscriptions are free. It only takes 1 second and allows me to continue providing content that makes a difference in people's lives. So please subscribe immediately, and I'll see you in my future video. Cheers, Senior Space.